I keep up with y'all too, or I try to. Now that I'm retired, I can watch more of y'all's videos. I was watching Rusty Glovebox this morning. He was making an air compressor part, and he had a cover that was missing off of the top of an electrical thing on his air compressor, and he was making one. He made a cardboard pattern, and then he got some kind of material, and he was cutting that material to make it box out of. And that got me thinking that, like where I used that tape on that rear bumper part on that RV, and then I covered the tape with JB Weld. JB Weld is just kind of like a liquid plastic. You could, kind of going right off of his idea there, you could make a paper box to cover over something like that, and then take JB Weld and put it all over the box, and then it would harden up like plastic, and you would have in effect made a plastic box out of a paper pattern. Oh, that's just a thought that went through my mind. If you needed something made out of plastic, out of a particular shape, you could take a piece of paper and make that shape, and then y'all know where I'm going with this, I think. Okay, so I'll put this here and that there. I don't know if them wires are big enough for that to get any kind of pinch on it or not. Let's see. Put this on that. There's somebody else out there doing some interesting stuff. Old Harry Faber, which is not his real name. It's his YouTube name. His name's Adrian. He's over in England. He bought a house in France. Talk about, otherworldly and all. But he's an awful nice guy. I've been looking at his stuff and all for, I guess, a goodly many years now. I learned something about him I didn't know. Somebody made the comment that he does stained glass stuff, and I didn't know that. I figured him for a smart feller way back when. I saw him, I think he was working on a boat or something, wooden boat. He was saving all these little pieces of wood and just doing a lot of generally interesting stuff. And but then he's kind of branched out and doing some other interesting stuff. It's funny how we do that. Some of us will be working on something for a while, and then we'll switch over and work on something else. Life is kind of like that. Not everybody's always doing the same thing all the time. Oh, it's just like Mr. Heavy Chevy. One day he's working on a Pontiac Firebird, and the next day he's putting a turbocharger on a lawnmower with a quadrijet carburetor. Of course, I think that part was just a joke, but I liked it. I liked the joke. I thought it was a good joke. And of course, Mrs. Heavy Chevy, she makes it more fun. I'm going to try to watch more of y'all's stuff. For lots of years while I was working, I didn't have time to. And then even after I retired, I had so many jobs to catch up on around the house, and I didn't have much time to. But of course, there is one thing about that is, where we're going down to Georgia, we're about to head back down to the land of no internet. That's a problem. I know that last time I was down there, I couldn't watch nobody's videos because we didn't have no internet. I was worried about some of you. I like to keep up with some of you to make sure you're still all right. So hopefully, when we go back down, I'll still be able to keep up with you.